Hi friends! I want to start off with something fun. It's a Parasite update, but those are so hard for me to do. So I'm going to share a good find at the thrift store. $5, and it was a bag of silver spoons. And I can't even find them to know how much they are. Some of them are so old. But I just want to show you because they're so cute. Look at these two little ones that match. They're so adorable. Look how teeny they are. I mean, perspective, they're as big as my head, but okay, you can tell I'm tired. Okay, and then there's these two that are King George the First and King George the Third. Remember, how would you like to have your face forever on spoons? And then this one's from Germany, I think, but I cannot find them anywhere. And then this one's kind of a cute one too. So they all say like, and this is a toothpick, like a nut pick, and it's marked Italy. You might be able to read this one. It's Italy and then some Italian maybe? I don't know. But it's super soft, that one. But most of these say silver 800. I think these two, the George ones, are marked 800 and the other ones are sterling. So I don't know if you'd be able to see them. I didn't bring my loupe, but anyway, I just wanted to share. So it's on there somewhere, right in the, right where the smallest part is, right there. It says sterling. Nope, you're not gonna be able to see it without the loupe. Anyway, and then these ones are marked on the back here. But for $5, that's less than $1 a spoon for the items. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things for $5, and they're sterling or 800, which was the standard back then. So those are, I'm sure they're worth more than $5. So now we get to the the hard part. I hate talking about them, especially today, because I am so frustrated with everything. It's been a really hard couple weeks for me. I've been doing, so I talked on the last update video about researching strongyloides in horses, because humans, they don't know how to cure it. It's a long process, a lot of antibiotics, which I didn't want to try because get chronic yeast infections on the antibiotics. It kills off the normal flora. Then you already have stomach problems from the leaky gut, and then you are taking stuff that kills off the normal flora, and then you even have more problems. So I'm trying to find something other than long-term antibiotics, which typically is what they treat Lyme with, which I think the spirochete parasite that causes the waxy film is the same. I think the parasite, the horsehair worm, is a hard-shelled insect. Lyme is on ticks, hard-shelled insect, and the Lyme carries some of the ticks carry this parasite Lyme that they've called Lyme, which is a spirochete. So I believe that these other hard-shelled insects with this horsehair worm or whatever, I think it's also related to the Lyme situation. So a lot of the symptoms for Lyme are the same as the ones I have, and also strongyloides and or the horsehair worm have the same life cycle, but I think there's a combination of two, not just the horsehair worm, but I think it's the spirochete that causes the film, and so like Lyme. So I tried, after researching what she said, she mentioned to do 3 bouts of Praziquantel mixed with Moxidectin. So every 2 weeks you take a dose. So for a month and a half, I did that every 2 weeks. She recommended Fenbendazole, which typically is for horses or dogs or animals, for treatment of parasites. So I also took 5 nights in between of Fenbendazole for the 3 cycles. After the first cycle, I could tell it wasn't working. It was killing off maybe the ones in the gut, but then more were hatching, and I was having a lot of heartburn, Loeffler's syndrome, burning from the heart to the lungs as they burrow. My lungs have gotten worse. I could feel them, the back of my throat. I would wake up and it would just be inflamed with eggs and burrowing out, just sore. And also when they're moving a lot, I've talked about this in a lot of my other videos, where I think they give a sedative when they're when they're on the move, so that they can move safely wherever they're moving. So I was falling asleep. If you read my blog for the last week, it's just after Thanksgiving 2021. So if you read my blog for the last week, I have several posts where I just kept falling asleep, and I was having the heartburn. It's the same symptoms as when I was trying stuff at the beginning, and it was compounding it, and I was getting a hyper infection, just more compounded, killing them off, more hatching, killing them off, more hatching. And so I was just exhausted. In fact, Friday, I didn't even blog. Thursday to Friday, I consciously made a choice not to blog. There were some other things going on as well, but I was just so not feeling good all the time with these stupid things. I could feel them when I would take stuff going into my teeth, and my teeth are really affected. They're just dark and gross, and I wish I could get a good picture of the black lines in my teeth. You can see them clearly outside more. I have pictures on my website, horsehairandhumans.com, and some on my blog, thesecretisgratitude.com, but I can literally feel them going into my teeth, into my head, burrowing out of my gut. And also, I've still had adults that have not died off with that medication, taking that over the 3 weeks, and they're still laying eggs in the nether regions. In that they don't like it, because when they lay eggs, I'll put the glucose iodine on where the bump is, where they've laid the eggs, and then they'll just move and they'll just go. They've actually gone inside the lips of that area and laid eggs in that area, and then it gets super inflamed and it's itchy, and there's nothing I can do about it because it's inside, but it's just inside where it's still, I can feel it, and it's really irritating. And just this morning there's another bump, and I've just finished that medication, 3 cycles of it plus the Fenbendazole. So the Praziquantel, and I had tried Praziquantel many times before, and I tried Fenbendazole creams anyway before, and some pills, but not on an extended program. So I went through and I completed everything that she suggested, and it did not work. It did kill some off in my gut, but it did not kill off systemically. And then it just created more of a hyperinfection. I just felt more and more hatching and more in my throat. My throat was just raw. It was like a couple of days after, like, so I would take the medication, and then maybe like 4 or 5 days after, it would be like I would wake up and my whole back of my throat was just inflamed and raw. And I forgot, I had my daughter take a picture of my throat before they left, just after, well, we did Thanksgiving early. So let me see if I can find it really quickly and show it to you. So I hope you can see it. So the back, you can see, is like really just inflamed red. And it was so sore, but I couldn't, that was like the back of my mouth. That wasn't like my throat was just, well, you can kind of see the throat there, but it was just so raw and inflamed. And also my face was just a mess too. Let me see if I can, I tried to take some of my teeth. I forgot I did this. That's not a good one. Let's see. And this one, you can kind of see the dots, the light reflecting off of the dots in the back of my throat. But you can't see the back of my throat. It was hard. I was trying to take myself. They were leaving the house, and I just tried. But yeah, and I tried to show some of the teeth marks, but you just really can't see them very well on this. Well, maybe. Oh, yeah, no. And they're so blown up, you can't really even tell. That's I was trying to show you the tooth and the back of the throat on that one. But anyway, so I know that they were killing them off, and I know they were hatching because they come up from the lung into the back of the throat. So I'd feel the burning, and then a day later or 2 or whatever, they do their cocoon and their hatch. And also, my lungs have been really bad. So if this has been going on for a month and a half now, and when I lay down, I can just hear like crackling and wheezing, and like I'll breathe out and I'll go today I was breathing and it was like, breathe in, crackle, crackle, which is a bad sign when you're a nurse and you're listening to that in the lungs. You know there's some problem. It's usually emphysema. And I've had the lung scans. You can see the pulmonary function tests anyway. And you can look on my website, Horsehair and Humans, and see the results of those pulmonary function tests. But those were years ago. I haven't had medical insurance for years. I'm working on right now, currently getting some medical insurance. I'm hoping so I can get another pulmonary function test, because they're so much worse. Like I can walk out to the mailbox and back, and then halfway through the breath. It used to be at the end of my breath that would happen, but now it's halfway through the breath. If I was breathing heavy right now, I would be halfway through a breath and then it just drops off. So there's no oxygen left. There's nothing. So I went and visited a neighbor, and he's got. And interestingly enough, if you go way back to the beginning where I talk about my dreams and the dreams coming true, this is the husband of the wife that was in the dream. And they live next to a cat lady. And he has such bad, he can't even walk across the room without his oxygen levels dropping. And it's, oh gosh, now I'm going to forget what it's called. Idiopathic, let's see. They don't know why his lungs are calcifying. And so they just see his lungs calcifying and he can't get oxygen and they don't know why. Well, I know why. I've talked about him before, but I just went and visited him like a week and a half ago. And actually, it probably wasn't even that long ago. And his lungs are just still calcifying, and they live right next to this cat lady, and they were in the dream where I believed I had a parasite in the dream, cat parasite, and she was in the dream. So I really believe that he's got the parasite and it's calcifying his lungs, which is what is happening to mine, I'm sure. So so that's going on. So I'm sure because of all this, I'm having all the symptoms over again, like bad. So when I let them go for a long time, it seems like there will be a few longer ones and I can feel them moving, but they keep the smaller ones down. And I haven't had the hiccup, the drunk hiccup, like I talk about in a lot of my other videos. I kind of go, yeah, I have been doing it nonstop for 6 weeks now. Like I continually sound like a pterodactyl. It's either like a hiccup and even when I haven't eaten anything, if I drink anything, they go right to it. And then I do this little hiccup afterwards. And sometimes it's so many of them burrowing out or burrowing in to get to the moisture at the same time that it creates a vacuum, and I kind of, and then, so I really believe that alcoholic men back in the day in the movies where they do the hiccup and they stars swirling around, because I see shooting stars too. I get lightheaded with the parasite, and then I will literally see them shooting around and it looks like shooting stars. And then I do that little hiccup even though I don't drink. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you about all of the things that I've tried. I've had so many people asking, have I tried this? Have I tried that? And then somebody asked about diatomaceous earth. I don't know. She said she went to my website and it said I'd never tried diatomaceous earth. So I don't know. I've tried diatomaceous earth from the beginning, like way beginning. So I just thought I'd recap some of the things I've tried, just so that you'll know. And then some things I've tried over and over and over again. So currently, once again, I'm trying ivermectin. Stromectol. And so I just finished, like last Friday, I think it was, the 3rd dose of the Moxidectin, Praziquantel, and Fenbendazole. And then I waited a couple days and I could feel them hatching and it was so bad. I was like, okay, I'm going to try the ivermectin again and see if I can kill off some of these hatchlings or whatever, because it's so bad. So I started taking ivermectin again, prescription ivermectin, and I don't know if the generic is a problem, and if this is a generic, it's ivermectin, but it's the stromectol. So I don't know if this is like the straight out ivermectin, or if it's a generic one. I don't know, but that's what they were able to get at my pharmacy. So I was trying that again. I'm not going to try the albendazole again. It's never worked for me, and it only made me lose my hair. And it was over $100,000 for the prescription, and it didn't do anything. So I'm not even going to go there trying it again. This bottle was for 2 tablets. And they had to order like 50 or 60 of these for me to try. I can't even remember what it was. You'll have to go back and watch those videos. But but the other thing with all the Fenbendazole and the Praziquantel and all the taking everything, my hair is falling out like a nightmare. It's handfuls. Like I'll just go like this. I just barely washed it. But there's 2 right there. There's about 4 right there. So like literally I just washed my hair, just combed it, and it shouldn't be, I don't even know if you can see all these. It shouldn't be, I shouldn't be losing anymore because I just washed it and just combed it. And so a lot came out in the wash, but look at all those. That's just running my fingers through my hair, and they're coming out at the bulb. So body does not like those medications, and they don't seem to be doing anything, but I thought I would try the ivermectin again, just to try and kill off some of those other ones. So that's what I'm currently on right now. But I wanted to talk about, so I've tried essential oils, and they do kill them off, and they do in the gut, and it does work. And I have tried lots of different kinds of essential oils. But the problem is, once again, it's not systemic. It just goes in the gut and it kills them off in the gut, and then they come out more, the cyst or whatever. Like, I believed all along that they go into a cyst form, because they're so similar to strongyloides. So I believe that they do go into the cyst form, but, and this professional specialist said that they don't lay eggs. They just do the cyst form thing. But I know they lay eggs because I've felt them. If you pop the area where they lay them, you can feel them crawling on you. If you like all the nematodes, because they start as a nematode and then they go to they morph, and then they morph again into a worm. So I have felt them. So I know that they lay eggs outside the body. So they'll like poke their head out like an earthworm and then lay their eggs in a spot. So a lot of times it's some soft fleshy here, groin area is perfect, behind the knees, and then they'll just be like a zit type of thing. And if you dig down and pop it, then you can feel the nematodes. But typically, I think they just burrow in from that area into the body, rather than leaving the body in the nematode form, because they've got a host. Why not stay? So anyway, I have tried Corid Amprolium. It's a coccidiostat, and that did not do anything. The Fenbendazole didn't do anything. The albendazole didn't do anything. The Praziquantel didn't do anything. I didn't bring the other one out. The Pinex, Pyrantel does do something, and I talk about that on lots of videos, but it doesn't kill them. It just drives them into the muscle and tissue. So they don't like that one, so I've avoided taking that one again. It does probably kill them off in the gut, but they just leave the gut, and it was very painful to take that one. Diatomaceous earth, I've taken that internally. It's same thing. It just kind of kills them in the gut, but it doesn't do anything for the rest of the body. So I don't take that regularly. It probably would keep them out of the gut, but I just want them out of the rest of my body. And I have MMS in the fridge, and I have not, my cousin gave it to me. Her son's taken it for something else, and I have been kind of crazy busy with lots going on, and so I haven't been at home to take it regularly while I wasn't already trying some of these other things. So I think I'm going to try that next once I'm through with the ivermectin tablets, and then see how that does. So far, I think the ivermectin is killing off the ones in the gut once again, but I'm just hoping it'll kill enough of the little ones that I won't have this massive burden. The other thing I have tried, but also this is an issue, and I think that the MSM, whatever it is, MSM. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. This is an issue, and this is why that isn't. When I try that, it tastes like this. So this is an water ozonator or ionizer, and it creates like a chlorine in the water, which is the same thing, and I can taste it, and it lowers the acidity rate in the body. And the problem was, I told you on the last video, I have had a urinary tract infection. I had a urinary tract infection for a couple months, and the neighbor has them, and an older gentleman I know has them, and we aren't doing anything to get them, and so it's just the parasite burrowing out of the colon into the bladder, and then the bladder gets the bacteria, and then it's a hard time to get rid of it because the parasites are burrowing back and forth. So that's been going on for a couple of months now. And so I was afraid to try too many. I didn't want to stop what I was taking. I wanted to finish the cycle and see if give it a really good try. And the medication didn't do anything but kill off the ones in my gut and cause more to hatch. So, but I couldn't know that until I tried it for the 3 times, because I thought maybe it would just kill off a little bit more each time, but it just didn't do anything other than they'd hatch. Every time I take it, they would hatch a couple days later, and it would be a mess. So I tried taking this during that time where I had the urinary tract infections, and it's just ozonated water or ionized water, and it's a big thing in Asia. And you can get them online, and they've gotten lower in price. They used to be like, the Kangen used to be like, Kangen water, what is it called? Oh my gosh. Anyway, it was pretty expensive. It would purify them, and then it would ozonate them, oxygenate them, and lower the acidity. You could choose the acidity rate that you want, and you can on this one as well. You can choose high acidity or low acidity. I've talked about in the past, like, I can't do vinegar. Everybody's like, try apple cider vinegar, and acidity will help. But the problem is, with these parasites burrowing in and out of the gut, I have leaky gut really bad because I've had the parasites for so long. So when I take anything like, I've talked about this on the last video. So when I take anything like vinegar, it causes burning in the gut where it's hitting the leaky gut holes. And the same thing with, like, people suggest taking turpentine with sugar. And I read another article somebody sent me, or something, I can't remember where I saw it, but another one about, somebody sent it to me. It was about taking thyme oil. But the problem is, taking it with that, my stomach cannot handle it. It burns when I take stuff like that. And so, because of the leaky gut. So I was taking this, and I was doing quite a bit of every day. And the problem was, it was lowering the acidity level in my gut and in my bladder. And the parasites, what you try and do in the bladder is raise the acidity to kill off the bacteria. So you take things like cranberry that have a high acidity level, and cream of tartar, which is a high acidity level, vitamin C, high acidity level, trying to keep the bacteria from growing in the bladder. So I was taking this, which is lowering the acidity level, and taking cranberry, grapefruit seed extract, cream of tartar, all those things to raise the acidity, cranberry pills, cranberry juice, to kill off the bacteria in the bladder. And it was just, I was fighting one another. I was going back and forth, killing. It was not good. So I finally had to stop doing this because it was lowering the acidity level in my gut and in my bladder, and things were overgrowing. So, okay, so go back to midway through taking the parasite stuff, my stomach started having, because the parasites are so plentiful, and they're burrowing all over the place, I'm having really, really bad heartburn, reflux, just to the point where I can't even sleep. I've got such bad heartburn. And I've talked about that in the past, that if you drink water, they'll all burrow into the throat area, chest area to get to the water at night. And then you'll have the hiccup thing. And then you'll have, like, it feels like heartburn or reflux. And so because the parasites have been hatching and are so bad, I have had really, really, really bad heartburn, like so bad. And I never was having heartburn before, like at all, nothing. Plus, I was having migraines and throwing up with the migraines, and that leaves the stomach valve open and you have to get it closed or you close it yourself. Anyway, I went and I had it closed and I'm still having the heartburn. So I know that it's related to all the parasite stuff that's going on, because they're in the back of my throat and they're burrowing, burping throughout here. So with that, this is why it's been so bad the last couple weeks. So with all of those parasites hatching, I have not had the mood swings of, not mood swings, I wouldn't say it's a mood swing, I would say it's a wave. I talk about it like being a wave. So when there's a lot hatching and they're ready to have more hatch, or there's a feeling of them dying off, they will try the suicide feeling, that overwhelm, commit suicide. You know, like my area has one of the highest teen suicide and high over 45, 50 women suicide rates in the nation. Like, it's bad. And it's when they're hatching. So you'll be fine 1 minute, like you'll be absolutely fine. And then a half an hour later, you'll just feel a wave. It feels like, and I don't know how to describe it for men. I just know that when women may be PMSing or post after you have a baby, you can feel those hormones just wash over you, kind of, and it's just an immediate wash of hormones. And I'll start thinking, oh my gosh, my kids, they're annoyed by me. Why even bother? I'm just in their way. I'm just bothering them. Nobody cares about me. Thanksgiving, nobody was here. We did it early and I literally just stayed in bed. I was just so frustrated with this emotion that I know is not my thoughts. Like, I don't feel that way. I don't think that way. I never have. But because there's so many hatching and dying and hatching and dying, I just felt this wave, and it just comes over you and you just have those thoughts. And I could just say to myself, I know it's the parasites. I'm not going to worry about it, but I'm so frustrated because I'm having so many problems and not sleeping. I can feel them moving, hatching in my lungs, burrowing, burning, heartburn, burrowing down out to lay their eggs at night in the nether regions, and then waking up with big sores and feeling extremely tired, the wave of fatigue, and just I've fallen asleep so many times in my chair the last 2 weeks, just literally my head hanging all the way down, and I wake up and I can't even literally move my head because my neck has been hanging so low on my chest, falling asleep in the chair, trying to blog and answer replies on YouTube and my website and everything. So the emotional stress of having to deal with, I love my family and I'm excited they come, but dealing with all these waves of hormones, dealing with the fatigue, dealing with the heartburn, not being able to eat anything, not being able to sleep. They literally were here, and I had a couple hours sleep every night because I was in so much discomfort. Plus I'm having some back pain. My legs were numb. My arms go numb every time I sleep. I just flip flop. My arms are numb. And so I literally like had no sleep, and to have those waves of that on top of no sleep, and you know, when family's home, you love them, but there's a lot going on. And so it was really stressful, and it reminded me of a couple years ago when they came. I was just burnt out, and I was having the same thing. I had more hatching, and I was dealing with it. And it's been really good the last few years because I try not to mess up with them. I try not to take things that I think will just kill them off in the gut, because then they hatch more, and then I have all these symptoms again. It's kind of nice when there's just a couple of big ones moving around. I can feel them moving around, but I don't have all of these heartburn, Loeffler syndrome, being tired, foggy brain. I mean, I was trying to play a game with my kids again, and it was just like it was years ago when I had it really bad. I was leaving my keys in the store, I locked my keys in my car. I couldn't think clearly. I mean, I did the stupidest things. I was trying to fill out an application or something for the medical, like a form, fill out a medical form. And I was like writing the wrong things in the wrong places, and I just couldn't think clearly. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, what is wrong with me? It's so bad. So I feel like I've just jumped back 5 years by taking all these things and trying them, then I'm back to the hair falling. I mean, literally, like almost every single symptom I had at the beginning and all the way through, I'm having all at once right now. Like, right, even just sitting here, it's like hard to breathe. I'm like having heartburn and just hard to swallow. My throat's gotten the thyroid calcification because they're burrowing up in there. So food gets stuck. If I swallow, it gets stuck just even swallowing, and it hurts, and I kind of have to like push it over to be able to swallow from the calcification there. The popping and crackling in my lungs. I mean, I just am so frustrated. And people write me, it's like, you're so positive, you just keep going, we're proud of you. And I'm like, this last couple weeks, I'm like, I'm trying not to swear too, so that's a big thing. But I really, really have wanted to swear a lot the last couple of days. I just am so not feeling good and frustrated, and I don't know what to try, and I'm afraid to try anything else because I don't want it to make it worse. So I just thought I better do an update while I'll be honest and truthful because in a couple of days I may just decide not to do it anymore. In fact, on Friday I just didn't blog, and I've never done that before. I knew sometimes I've forgotten, I've been busy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to blog, or I've posted it and I didn't put the date right, it hasn't posted, but I literally just chose not to blog on Friday, which is I've been blogging for over 10 years now, and actually we're going on 11. So that is not something I do or I have done, and I just so frustrated. So anyway, I'm still using at night. I still am taking the colloidal silver, trying to keep them somewhat down out of this area. I need to color my hair again when I can start feeling them in my scalp. And I woke me up in the night back here. I could feel them crawling back here because they like the hairline. And my hair was getting really frizzy back there. I don't know. I've talked about that before. It's kind of like matted on the neckline. And so I've been taking the silver and the thieves oil. These are like lifesavers. I just take them all the time. And I just have a little thing of diatomaceous earth. I just rub it wherever they are. Just to keep them off my skin. I put it on my bedding still. And then the glucose iodine, where they burrow out at night, lay their little eggs, and it gets like a bump, and it's a sore bump. It's not like a pimple that you don't really feel. It's like a pimple waiting to pop, but then if you try and pop it, you have to kind of like dig down a little bit, and then you'll feel the nematodes on you. So I only did that once, and I haven't done that again. I don't want them roaming around the house. So I just take a little bit of glucose iodine and I put it on the area where the bump is, hoping to kill them while they are still in the little egg area. And then I put diatomaceous earth once it's dried down there. I just put diatomaceous, and it's not only down there. They lay them other places too, but currently it's usually right on the hairline here and in the groin area. So I will put the glucose iodine on it, and it's hard here to do the glucose if it's not like in the hairline because you don't want people to see the orange yellow on your skin. It looks like a bruise. So I usually just use the glucose on the ones that aren't visible, and then when it's dried I put the diatomaceous earth so that if any are crawling out trying to escape, they get killed by the diatomaceous earth. So excuse me again. So I will try the MMS again. I think it's MSM. Let me think. There's 3 different things. There's the MSM, there's the MMS, and there's the one that you mix it with so it'll go into your skin. Oh my gosh. See, this is what I've been doing for weeks now. I cannot remember things clearly. It takes me a minute. And even though I know what I want to say, I can't bring it up, which is scary because that's what my neighbors all did before they couldn't function for themselves. And the teeth going brown and black, also same thing. Lungs, they had when they did chest x-rays of their lungs, they had left lower lung growth, calcification, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just doing the same thing there. I'll do them, but it scares me to be living alone and not being able to think clearly and having those waves. I mean, I don't think I would ever do it, but you just never know. I mean, I'm not thinking about it now. I don't feel it right now. But when those waves come, it's just like literally, it's just like you're getting a wave of water coming over you, a wave of hormones. And I had a guy friend that had cancer, and he had to take female hormones, and he would just get waves where he'd just start crying for no reason. It's kind of like that. You just like, it's just a feeling, and it just comes, and you can feel it coming, and it kind of peaks, and then it kind of goes back down. Like a hot flash kind of a feeling. It just kind of comes, and then it waves and passes. So I just always go, okay, it's just a parasites. It's just one of those waves. I'll just ride it through. But I'm just really tired of dealing with this stupid thing. And I know a lot of you are too. You write me and tell me that you're giving up. Don't give up. Just know that it's a wave. Just ride it like you would surf a wave. Surf that hormonal wave. Get through it. So anyway, I know this is a lot of blathering, and it doesn't make a lot of sense, and most people won't want to watch 30 minutes of this blather, but it is what it is to get through it. And I just wanted to let you see me when I'm in this state that I can't think clearly and I'm emotional. I mean, I just seriously feel like bawling right now, and it's so dumb. Because they just come, the waves come, and it's worse when they keep hatching and burrowing, and it's terrible. So, and I usually don't let people see me vulnerable like that, because, you know, it's usually late at night, which it is right now, when the waves come. It's just usually because that's when the parasite's active. So usually you wouldn't see that in me, or my family wouldn't see that in me, because it's usually late at night. And so I just feel it come on. I let the wave, you know, ride the wave, and then I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine until the next time they hatch, and then I ride the wave. So, but I just, like I said, I just felt like I should let you see what it's like. I just can't think clearly, and I'm not making a lot of sense, and I'm repeating myself, and I can't think of the words. But there'll be a lot of you who will totally relate with me at this point, knowing that you have the same problem, and you'll go, oh my gosh, that's me. You'll recognize yourself in what's going on in my world right now. So I'm hoping, I kind of am frustrated that I started taking this over near the holidays, because then I'm with my family and I'm emotional, and there's no reason for it, because I'm usually not an emotional person like that as much. So, so I'm kind of mad at myself for trying it at that point, but I was so excited to have read what she said and think that maybe I could cure it, that I thought I would try it. But once again, more money in the drain and causing me more problems. So, but at least I can say I tried it. Gave it a full, in fact, the second week, when the Fenbendazole didn't work the first week, I doubled the dose. So I took twice as much as I should. And I know that's terrible, and people are going to get mad at me for trying that and saying that, but so I thought maybe I wasn't getting enough. I'm a large person. Maybe the doses are different. So I actually doubled the dose. So I just wanted to put that in there so that people know that I did really give it a fair try. So no on Fenbendazole, no on Praziquantel and Moxidectin mixed together. I've already tried those separately, I think, in the past. I know for sure I've tried Praziquantel over and over. I've got another prescription of or whatever somewhere. So none of those have worked for this. So next is going to be the MMS. I think that's the right term for it, where you mix the one bottle with the other bottle and put a drop in, and then you drink it. So a lot of people have said, have you tried that? But I just wanted to be home and not be traveling. And I just went to my grandkids, and just before that we had the wedding and the reunions and people coming, and I left, and people driving through on their way out of state, me helping people move out of state. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy time since summer. So for the next 3 weeks, I have a little bit of time. I'm going to try that and give it a fair shake and see if it does anything, and if I feel better, and if it seems to be killing anything off. But as of right now, I'm probably as bad as I've ever been with the parasites. Yay for me. And I'm literally trying to get the medical so I can go get another pulmonary function test and compare it to the years ago and see where I'm at now, because I can tell, and part of it might have been my COVID lung damage, but I really feel like it's mostly since, I mean, there was a little bit with COVID, but mostly since then, because of the burrowing and the parasites and stuff. So keep me in your prayers. I'll keep praying for all of you. I know there's so many that are suffering. My heart goes out. Sometimes I'll just cry when I'm reading people's posts on my comments. And just because I understand. I've been there. So no, you're not alone. And please forgive me for rambling and not having it really organized today, but I just want you to know I love you and God loves you, and we will get through this in His time, and hopefully somebody will start listening and studying it soon, and we'll be able to find a cure. So have a happy holiday season, stay safe, and have a blessed day.